Over the past few years, I've sold over 50,000 copies of my books through social media without paying for ads, and I absolutely love using social media to build my audience as an author, engage with my readers, and sell my books. So I'm really excited to share some tips with you today. I just got done filming my latest YouTube video, so if you missed that one, I will link it here. It was another week of social media post ideas for authors. So if you are looking for some post ideas, definitely check that one out. I have this lovely new little setup going on. I got this from my fiance for my birthday. A cute little writer sign that glows like neon yellow. And now I'm just doing some social media stuff. So I just posted on Instagram, and I'm going to show you something that I always do whenever I get positive comments about my book, to show social proof and testimonials. So this is kind of meta, but I'm just going to hold my phone and kind of show you. I just posted this. I went the kind of inspirational route and wanted to share just some inspiration for my audience that I thought would resonate. And I just got a comment, just bought this book, can't wait to dive in. So of course, I'm going to respond to this and pin it to the top, which you can do by on iPhones swiping and hitting the pin button. What I'm also going to do is screenshot this and share it on my story. So now I'm just on my stories, and I'm going to add that to my story by just adding it from my gallery. But this is just a great way to show social proof. So even if your book doesn't get a lot of reviews or people aren't really posting pictures of it, anything like this that is a positive comment that you can share is really, really beneficial. So I just added a link to encourage people to grab their own copy, and now I'm just going to post this to my story. I really try to be active on stories on Instagram almost every day, but it's usually very minimal like that, where it took me 2 minutes to do. And that way people are just seeing other people reading the book. They're encouraged to go check it out as well. And speaking of that, of linking to your book on stories, I also wanted to share a quick little tip that I have been trying out lately, which is to add a little bit of mystery whenever you're promoting your book. And I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, we're back to the phone. I promise I'll be done with this view soon. But what I've been doing lately is linking to my book, but not revealing which book I'm talking about. In the link sticker, I put this ebook is just 99 cents, but I didn't say which book I'm talking about. This book just happens to be on a random sale right now, and so I wanted to call attention to that. So this has just been adding a little bit of intrigue for me, saying this book is for you, or check out this book, and not explicitly saying the title. And I've noticed I've been getting 5 to 6 times more link clicks than I normally do in my stories. So if you want to give that a try and see if you also get more link clicks, potentially more conversions and sales, give that a try next time. It's just been something I've been trying a few times, so it's a bit too early to tell you this is going to get you more sales, but it definitely has been getting more traffic to my website and to my Amazon page, so I wanted to point that out for you. By the way, my private client Facebook group saw that tip first, and I do share a lot of tips in my private Facebook group. So if you've ever bought any of my book marketing courses or guides, you can join that group. Just send me a DM or an email if you don't have the link to it. Speaking of courses, my biggest course yet is launching this week. I'm so excited. I have been working on this for months. It is looking so good, and I cannot wait for the value that it is going to bring for you. So if you need help with your social media presence, with growing your audience of engaged readers, with posting on social media, with all of the things that I've been coaching authors with one-on-one, this is for you, and I just cannot wait for you to grab it. So I'm going to have it linked below. I might talk about it in this video because as I'm vlogging my week of how I'm doing my social media for my own books, I'm also working on finalizing this course, so it might come up again, but I definitely encourage you to check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. On Sunday, I finished recording the last lesson for the course and celebrated by going to the farmer's market and grabbing a delicious looking waffle. It is a new day, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about how I've been marketing my books the past couple of days. For some reason, in the evening is when I normally get my spark of inspiration to create content, and I try to create a few different things at once. So what I normally do is spend some time just scrolling through social media to see what sparks my interest, what stops me from scrolling, what I pay attention to most, and also pay attention to any sounds or trends that come my way that I think could apply well to my books. For me, it's normally sounds because I don't do a lot of trends on my page. I find that it doesn't really fit for my brand and my style of video very well. and a lot of the trends just don't really apply to what I'm trying to do with my page, which is be a very calming presence. So a lot of the music does apply though, so I looked out for a couple of different trends, found some trending songs that I saved, and then filmed and recorded my videos. I also have been doing a lot of carousels on TikTok recently that are doing really well. So I took some photos and set up a few different drafts in my Instagram and TikTok apps, which are my two primary platforms that I use. Another thing that happened this weekend is that I finally got access to broadcast channels on Instagram. It's basically a way that you can message all of your followers at once and invite them to this channel that you have just for your followers. So it's kind of an exclusive fun thing. So I set up the self-love spot on my channel, and it was really interesting to see right away the amount of engagement that I got. I am going to do this on a weekly basis, not kind of bombard my followers with messages, but I think it's a really exciting way to get your readers engaged and tell them about, new book launches and all of that. So I'm really excited about how I'm going to use it in the future. But yeah, so I set that up on, I think it was Thursday or Friday that I got the invite. And then every Sunday I'm going to be doing a little exclusive message for my followers. And I already did one, and I got 100 more comments than what I normally get. And I think I'm going to do a separate video entirely on broadcast channel, so I'll link it here. I'm going to go back to my phone to show you how I do some social proof and building my community in my Instagram stories, which is one of my favorite ways to promote my books. So I posted that my book was on this sale that's happening on Amazon, and people have been DMing me saying that they got it. So I've screenshotted it, taken out their name and face just because I sometimes ask for permission and then I'll include it. But for things like this, I'll just take it out and then share it as social proof on my story and link to the sale. I also got tagged in a couple of photos with my book, so I reshared those to my story as well. Again, another person saying that they got the book for that price, sharing the link again. Thanking people who tagged me in photos of my book. So this is one that I got tagged in and made sure that I showed appreciation and thanks to them for sharing my book and reading the book. Another thing that I like to do is I have a book love highlight on my Instagram page. You can add a highlight by going to your profile and clicking that new plus sign there. But I love to recognize people for reading my books. So anytime someone tags me, I go in about once a week and I go to edit highlight in my most recent stories, and I will then share anyone who has said that they have read my book. So that one I was tagged in, this one I was tagged in. I'm going to put this person that said that they bought copies for friends in there. And I think that those are the most recent ones since last time I did it. And then you'll just hit done and that will save to your profile. So as you can tell, I'm really passionate about engaging with my community and my readers and showing my appreciation and really getting them involved in leaving comments, sending messages, and then recognizing them when they do that. It is a really great way to build community. I actually have an entire module on building community with your readers in my new course that has launched this week. I'll leave that linked in the description below. But it is really important that as we're putting out social media content, that we are not just selling and telling our readers about our books, but that we are also forming this really strong, engaged community as well of loyal readers who are going to be there for you, reading every book that you put out and wanting to be a part of your community. I think something that's really important to keep in mind when it comes to marketing your books on social media is not to be everywhere at once. So my primary platforms are Instagram and TikTok. Those are platforms that I've used for a while. I get them. I know what works. And over time, I've dwindled the number of platforms that I use. So I have a Facebook page. It's connected to my Instagram. Instagram makes it easy to share the same content on both platforms, so I often do. But I don't spend any time on my Facebook page really. And I also have a Twitter, but I haven't really tweeted anything in months about my books. Instagram and TikTok are where I've made the most of my sales, where I've grown the largest audience, and that's where I focus. And I find that narrowing down instead of trying to be everywhere at once and on 5 different platforms and maintaining different content on different platforms is just going to slow you down from seeing results. So I would recommend that you pick 1 to 2 that you enjoy using, that isn't a dread to use, and be consistent with those before expanding to other platforms. Even 6 or 7 years into this, I'm still only using 2 as a primary form of marketing. But I want to talk a little bit about TikTok because that is one of my favorite platforms, and I've been focusing a lot on Instagram for this vlog because there's so much more that you can do with it, in my opinion. But with TikTok, I really enjoy how simple it has become for me to market my books because I do a lot of the same things over and over. And that's actually one of my biggest tips. If you've read the Book Talk Blueprint guide that I have, it is beneficial to repeat what works and stick with a similar style. So if you like being really creative and mixing up your style a lot, absolutely go for it. But I found with top creators, with authors that are seeing a lot of success, repeating the same style can work really, really well. So lately I've really been embracing the carousel feature where you can actually just upload photos and people can scroll through them. Now, your hook is still going to be very important, which is the first 1 to 2 seconds of that video, adding text to get people to actually swipe through. But I lately have just been sharing a photo of the cover of my book with a page inside the book. Since I write poems, this makes a lot of sense. It will look different for other genres in terms of what you do. But as always with social media, I really recommend that you spend some time scrolling through other authors, especially readers in your genre, and seeing what they're talking about and what they're posting to give you a good idea of what might work for you. Another thing that I wanted to recommend to you if you don't do this and you struggle with being consistent is setting a reminder on your phone to post. This might not work as well if your day looks different every single day and you don't have the same times set aside each day. But for me, I'm self-employed, I work from home, and so I have alarms twice a day on my phone for TikTok, and one in the morning, one in the evening, and whenever one of them goes off, I remind myself that I need to post then. And then I have one every single day for Instagram as well around lunchtime because I know I'll be taking a break from work and having lunch and can post then. That doesn't mean that I do post every single day, but it is something that I found really works for me in terms of staying structured and just reminding myself to take a moment to post something that day. I think there's a lot of pressure to always have a structured plan in place when it comes to social media. So I want to let you know that a lot of the times I'm just going off of what I want to post that day. I'm going to show you a storytelling post that I shared earlier this week. It was just something that I was thinking about during my day and thought this would make a good post because it's related to my genre, my niche. So since I talk a lot about mental health, whenever those sorts of topics come up in my head, I find it really easy to repurpose those into a post. And I really recommend doing that yourself as well. Storytelling is really powerful and a great way to connect to your audience. So taking some time to really reflect on what your audience might be interested in hearing from you, whether that is behind the scenes of the book you're currently working on, maybe telling a funny or inspiring anecdote from your time working on the book and actually sitting down and writing it, or maybe telling the story of a character within your book if your book has characters. If you're writing nonfiction, telling the story of a challenge that you face in your book. These make great social media content, and as long as you actually connect it back to your book at the end of the caption or in the video and let people know what you can find out more inside my book and make it clear on where people can get it, this is a great, great way to connect people to you and build that trust and that community with your audience. It is now Friday. I did not vlog at all yesterday because yesterday was launch day for my new course, Boost Your Book Sales. And if you are familiar with my journey, I'll actually link my video on my journey up here. But social media completely changed my life in terms of the community of readers that I've been able to build and the books that I've been able to sell. And I have been teaching social media through this YouTube channel, through some different courses and guides and one-to-one coaching, reaching over 2,000 authors so far. And I just released my most comprehensive course yet. And at the time this video was posted, the course is launching on a very big sale. So I wanted to let you know about it and kind of walk through the modules for you so you can get a sense of what it's all about. So if you are an author feeling like you are not getting traction on social media, feeling like you're wasting your time, not reaching readers, not really sure what to post, kind of questioning that often, this course was made for you. So modules 1 and 2 are all about your author presence. The first module is kind of shifting mindset from being salesy and self-promotional. Here's how to sell in an authentic way that still feels natural and right for you. That's something I hear often, is feeling self-promotional or salesy. And so I want to nip that before we get into the meat of the course, which is a lot about building your presence. So module 2 is going to walk you through creating your bio, your tagline, your consistent visual brand, which is really, really important for your marketing as a whole. And then module 3 is the Social Strategy Academy, which just walks through social media and everything you need to know. So whereas some of my other courses, my TikTok guide, my Instagram guide, are deep dives into those specific platforms, how to make a TikTok, how to use Reels, how to do a story, this is holistically looking at social media marketing and how to be successful on any platform. So it covers short form video in depth, it covers graphic design, hashtags and keywords. And then my favorite part is the simplified social solution, which is my 3 types of posts that I recommend you share to build trust and loyalty and engagement with your readers, which leads to sales. And then we dive into module 4, which is probably my favorite module, even though module 3 is so packed with good stuff. Module 4 is all about building an engaged community of readers, which is my favorite because interacting with readers and getting people coming to you saying they've thought of you, saying that they've read your recent book and they've posted pictures of it and reviews of it is just a feeling that never gets old. So that module walks you through how to engage your readers on social media, and I also share my exact step-by-step how I engage with my readers every single week. And then module 5, I brought in a guest expert on Facebook ads for authors who has sold thousands through Facebook ads to teach you a 3-part masterclass on setting up ads, scaling and optimizing them to sell your books. It is jam-packed. I also have some bonuses for you in there: a book marketing planner, a book launch social media to-do list. There is a class on how to build your network of other authors or people in your niche that you'd like to connect with for collaborations. So it is full of value for you to help you master social media and sell more books through social media. So I invite you to check it out through the link in my description below. Please let me know if you have any questions about it. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Whether you are an author with many books out, 1 book out, or you are an author writing your first book and planning its release, this course is perfect for you. It is valuable at any time to start building your author presence for long-term success. I hope from this week of marketing my books on social media, you saw that it can be simple and it doesn't have to be time consuming. Yes, I've been doing it for a while, so it has gotten faster just as I've learned what works and learned how to make content quickly, but it can be simple for you too. And my focus is really on being authentic and genuine with myself, with my audience, with my readers, not being over the top, self-promotional, salesy, all of the things that a lot of us fear we might have to be in order to sell. It's not the case, and you can be yourself and be genuine to who you are while still building an audience of readers. So my stuff is simple. I don't do any fancy editing. I don't do any fancy videos. I keep it very, very simple for what I enjoy and what my audience enjoys. You'll get faster over time, you'll get better at it over time, but stick to it because social media is a long-term game and it can take some time to see results and see your community grow. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll also go ahead and link my other Week of Marketing My Book vlog where I talked more about how I use email marketing and some other tactics for marketing my book. Don't forget to promote your book this week. Bye!